Today's animation showing the stretch of the fleet there. Chimney Pujala just approaching the midpoint of the Pacific there, just in front of them into Chilean waters. Tomorrow, Spirit of Hungary just approaching Cape Leeuwin. And Chimney Pujala coming out of one period of strong winds into another, should have about 35 knots by the evening. Neutrogena, Gaius and Renault all relatively close now, just 85 miles separating Neutrogena from Gaius. And at the back there, One Planet, One Ocean just coming down the southeasterly toboggan run. Spirit of Hungary going well, an extended period of 35 knots for them, so going nice and fast. And at Three Musketeers there, just to the southeast of New Zealand, showing how close they are. That problem with the rudder for Renault Captur just hampering them a little bit. The ranking this Tuesday, the 17th of February, at 9 o'clock this morning, Chimney Pujala making a fairly modest 14 knots, sailed about 16 miles less than Neutrogena. Neutrogena have picked up speed a little bit, 13.4 on the 4-hour speed gun, but 14.9 over 24 hours. They are still ahead and slightly quicker of Gaius Centris Auditivus. Gaius making 14.2 averages over 24 hours, but 17.4 this morning. And the quickest boat, Renault Captur, slowed overnight a little bit. You'll see that on their VMG. Speeds this morning 15.2. Your Greeker's telling us earlier that he's having to keep speeds down because of this rudder problem. We Are Water, 10.7 knots and slightly lighter breeze this morning. One Planet, One Ocean, 14.8, going quite well. And Spirit of Hungary, 14.6 for a 358 mile day.
We have a little bit of a trouble with our new rudder. Yeah, whenever we get faster than 20 knots, the rudder is getting out of control. And with that, we did one big Chinese drive tonight. We could prevent another two other big Chinese drives just in the 10 seconds. The rudder gets broke 2 days ago, or half of it broke. The rudder tip broke off 2 days ago, and then it went really integrated more and more. And we had this rudder socket we put on the broken rudder, and at first we thought it would be well and steer well. And at first it was, and in the second half of the night, somehow it started to get really strange behavior. And probably the sock is not weighted enough to withstand the load, so it changes shape, and with that it changes force on the two sides. So, and whenever you are taking the waves, the rudder is taking, it's bearing away hard, or it's luffing hard. And the pilot couldn't handle that. And even if you're steering, you just really couldn't handle that because the loads are just too big. And that's a big problem. So whenever we get in a big surf, we can't control the boat. So that's the reason why we have reduced sails now. We sail with J2 and 2 reefs instead of J1 and 1 reef. Only solution with that rudder, going slow, when we are on starboard tack, like now. On starboard, we think we could go to 100%. Whenever we sail on port, we just could say about 80%. So from now on, it's a little bit like cruising. We can hope that there's a lot of starboard tack sailing where we could attack. The other thing, we can hope that our deficit at Cape Horn is not too big, so we can attack in the Atlantic, go for the podium. And the thing was, like, approaching Cape Horn with a lot of wind might be a bit of a topic for us, because when the boat is not controllable in big surf, might be a bit dangerous, but we'll see. Slightly, because I mean, just until 2:30 tonight, the world was beautiful and nice and rosy. From 2:30 on, it turned into a living life nightmare. Really, absolutely not good, and we are completely gutted.
So in truth, just about good conditions for almost all the Barcelona World fleet, with the exception of We Are Water in slightly lighter breeze. But looking at the front of the fleet, then Chimney Pujala very much out on their own. Feeling of solitude must prevail a little bit. They're almost in the middle of the Pacific. They should reach that midpoint tomorrow, round about midday. Meantime, they have Just come out of one stormy session and into another, 30 to 45 knots later this afternoon and then into the evening, and that will carry on for a few days for them. They're just on the front of a big low pressure system, the centre of the low pressure down round about 58 to 60 degrees south. So they're on the front edge of that. They should have plenty of breeze, but with the benefit of relatively smooth seas or smoother seas, and so we should see Chemney Puigdrelà picking up speed and going well over the next few days once again. Meantime, Neutrogena in second. They've moved to the south and east now of Gaius Centris Auditivus, so we really have a good picture of their position. They've lost a lot of miles for having gone into Bluff, but they are quicker, or they have been quick this morning, and they should have a good race with the Gaius Centris Auditivus. Problem though is with Renault Captur, who had that rudder problem yesterday, which they repaired. They put a new laminate sleeve on the rudder. Now that seems to be working loose. It's not rigid enough when the boat is sailing at higher speeds. And they had 3 wipeouts last night. Jörg Riechers told us this morning. These wipeouts, big Chinese jibes, and caused them some problems. And so that problem is ongoing. Jörg told us that they haven't got a solution and they're having to sail with 2 reefs and the number 2.
Yes, we have passed Cape Leeuwin. For us, it's a very good moment. It was very emotional. But now we are pointing to Cape Horn, which for me is the most emblematic of the 3 capes that we have to pass during the race. And we are very, very happy with this. And, well, we would like to arrive soon to Cape Horn and see what happens. Well, we are reading a little bit of everything. We have a short books that our team sent to us, and also I'm reading a book that is called El Cazador de Barcos from Justin Scott, just to relax a little bit and change a little bit our mind. Here we have internet connection, but we don't use it to read the news. And the only news that we know from the world are the little things that our team and our family is sending to us. But this is very, very, very poor. But we didn't know anything about from the Barcelona team. Also, we don't know much about what is happening on the land right now. Well, I speak to my family every day with emails. Every day we send a little email with what's happening every day. And since we left Barcelona, we have spoken 2 times in the telephone and not more. So, well, also with my father, I had a little emails, but it was not every day I have an email. It's the only thing.
And the situation for the second half of the fleet, if you like, from We Are Water, One Planet, One Ocean, and Spirit of Hungary. Well, working first of all with Spirit of Hungary, making 15 knots. They're still in fairly stable airflow, albeit quite strong, 30 to 35 knots. Nandor Fa explaining this morning, and some nice pictures from him this morning, saying how quickly they're going and how it really feels that they've got the boat going well, building up some good 24-hour run averages. They are approaching Cape Leeuwin, which will be their second Great Cape together, of course, a partnership which started off really on the back foot with limited time and limited preparation with the boat, but they really have forged a very strong unit together. Meantime, One Planet, One Ocean, Pharmaton, we spoke with Aloysius Gilbert this morning. He said they've had some great moments. Passing Cape Leeuwin was very emotional, very good. Now they're pointing towards Cape Horn. They really just want to get there safely. But of course, Cape Horn is the most emblematic of the 3 Great Capes, and they're really looking forward to getting there. Other than that, he was talking about the books that they have been reading and their time off. He's been reading a book called The Ship Killer, and it's interesting to see him reading a maritime thriller, as it were, on board One Planet, One Ocean, deep in the southern oceans. So That's how he gets his entertainment. He talks about speaking to his family and friends, really only done by email. And like some of the other teams, I think Conrad told us he'd only spoken on the phone twice. So too Alish has done the same. And he has 1 or 2 emails with his father, but feeling a little bit isolated.
Ring, ring. Pizzería Océanos, dígame.
Hola, llamamos para pedir 2 pizzas.
¿Qué pizzas quiere?
A ver, una marinera y una 4 estaciones, pero de 2 estaciones solo, de verano y primavera.
Si quiere por eso los más, tienes alitas de pingüino.
No, alitas de pingüino no, gracias.
Me da la dirección exacta, por favor.
Sí, a ver, estamos en Océano Pacífico número 1, al principio de la calle. Espera que es una calle muy solitaria.
Muy bien, pues más o menos unos 30 días, gracias.
Vale, hasta luego.
Good morning. Today we are the 17th of February, and except We Are Water, all the boats of the fleet are having an average speed around 15 knots, so it's very good speed for the next 24 hours for everybody. Concerning Cheminée Poujoula, the boat is sailing just north of this low pressure, so the wind they're gonna have for this morning will be around 25 knots. And all the night, all during the day, the wind is gonna increase, and they're gonna have 30 to 35 knots this afternoon and tonight coming from southwest. For the Three Musketeers in the southeast of New Zealand, they are still dealing with this high pressure. So the wind is coming from the northwest, and they are having between 20, 25, and sometimes 30 knots. And they're gonna sail today along the Antarctic exclusion zone. For the other boats, we have We Are Water sailing in a difficult situation because he's between this high pressure and the low pressure here. That means that he has very light wind condition, and right now the speed of the boat is around 10 knots. And for him, the wind is blowing from the northwest around 10, 15 knots max speed. And he's going to sail down southeast, and the wind is going to increase in 24 hours. For One Planet, One Ocean, Pharmaton, and for Spirit of Hungary, they are sailing just north of this low pressure. For them, the conditions are quite strong because they have between 30, 35 and 40 knots in gusts, so it's very strong winds coming from the northwest, and that make that they're sailing along the Antarctic exclusion zone to the southeast. And Spirit of Hungary should arrive at the longitude of Cape Leeuwin in the next 24 hours.
Bueno, aquí darrere meu podeu veure antiga la taula de cartes, que després ell us ensenyarà com és la taula de cartes i què anar-hi. Jo també tinc aquí, a més, un clauer, unes fotos, un record de la família.